Welcome to our discussion of the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. I'm Helen Sullivan, and I'm here to let you know what the latest news is from the crisis. Just yesterday, the International Monetary Fund announced a staff-level agreement with Ukraine wherein the IMF will give the country a 4-year, $15.6 billion loan to help defend itself against Russian invasion. The U.S. also weighs in on this, with White House National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby stating that they do not see China as an impartial mediator between Moscow and Kyiv. Chinese President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin have been holding talks in the Kremlin in a show of strategic cooperation. The Chinese president even said that China had an impartial stance in Ukraine and supported peace and dialogue by both nations. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida also paid a rare, unannounced visit to Kyiv to speak with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who said that Kyiv suggested China join a Ukrainian peace formula to attempt to put an end to the war. A junior British defense minister also said that the UK could supply Ukraine with ammunition which contains depleted uranium, but this has been met with criticism from Putin, who warned that if the UK does supply the Ukraine with such ammunition, Russia would be forced to react. The conflict itself has been escalating in Ukraine, with Russian forces attempting to advance to the city of Bakhmut's center, and 15 children being sent back from the Russian-occupied Ukrainian regions of Kharkiv and Kherson. President Zelensky has also joined a G7 summit in Japan via video link after being invited by Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. This is a complicated conflict that has been ongoing for years, however it is also one with a large focus on settling the situation peacefully and with as little collateral damage as possible. The International Monetary Fund's $15.6 billion loan to Ukraine will certainly help in their defense against Russia's forces, while President Xi's comments that China has an impartial stance in the Ukraine conflict may be the first sign that China is open to acting as a mediator for the ongoing dispute. It is also encouraging news to hear that Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has paid an unannounced visit to Ukraine to meet with President Volodymyr Zelensky. The British government's supply of ammunition with depleted uranium to Ukraine is also a point of tension that needs to be monitored carefully, as this could escalate the situation further. The war in Ukraine has had a devastating effect on the civilian population, and there have been numerous reports of civilian casualties due to the conflict. It is important that all sides remain committed to bringing an end to the conflict peacefully and with due consideration of the civilians living in the impacted areas. In conclusion, the situation in Ukraine is complex and volatile. But with increased international attention and peace initiatives, there is a chance that the parties involved can reach a resolution without further escalation of the conflict. We will be watching the situation carefully and will keep you updated as more news becomes available.